Morning. Well, it's morning right now. It's early. Well, let's go back 2 weeks. 2 weeks, I think. Uh, I was out thrifting with my grandma. Shout out, grandma. Well, I found something I was hoping would just be a quick and easy fix, and well, it's never that easy, is it? Don't know if we're gonna have room on the table. Yeah, I found this guy. Well, it's had some work done to it. I do have the display glass, but we'll get to why it's missing. It's sitting off camera here. Wow, my camera's not focusing. So when I got the thing, well, let's go back. When I got it, it didn't have a hard drive or RAM, and I was thinking, oh, I'll just throw some RAM in there. I've got some from when I upgraded the RAM in my Mac Mini, and put some hard drive that I've got laying around in here, and I tried it, and it didn't work. Turns out that the logic board is completely dead, and I'm not sure why. It had a little bit of corrosion, but I cleaned it off before I tried powering it on, and still nothing. Now you might be thinking, well, just order a new logic board. That seems like a pretty easy thing to do. Can my camera focus? This is really bothering me. Well, this MacBook had other parts I needed too. There's nothing in it at the moment, so it's hard to open. Like, keys are missing. So, I'll have to order a new keyboard because just replacing individual keys, I hate doing that. It always feels wrong, so yeah. Didn't want to do that. It also came with a battery, but I have no clue if the battery works, so I guess we'll find out because we are fixing this thing today. So, logic board issues, keyboard issues. At that point, well, I'm just going to order another MacBook and Frankenstein them together.
So it occurs to me watching back through this that I never explained why I was just going to order a whole other MacBook. Some might see that as a really weird waste of money. Let me explain. There's some weird things here. So on eBay, looking at 2010 MacBook Pro logic boards, they're all pretty much sold as not working or untested. Now, I'm sure that some of the untested logic boards would work fine, but I don't really want to gamble with it. And like I said, this needed other parts too that I would have to also order. So getting a mostly okay MacBook and just using other parts and Frankensteining them together was the best thing I could do. And I got a really good deal on that other MacBook. I paid about $30 for it. And all in total, this turned out to be a really cheap way to get a mostly good laptop. You'll see. We now return to Tom and Jerry.
Just the same MacBook, same as this one. And, well, it's got some damage. It's got a cracked trackpad, which, I mean, this one doesn't, so we'll be able to use this one's trackpad. Cracked trackpad and a cracked display. It's somewhere in here. They put a lot of pictures. Yeah, that display is cracked and, but it does work though. There's pictures of the display actually working. So that's good. However, originally the plan was I'll just swap this entire top half, the display, the glass, everything. Just swap this whole top to the new bottom, basically, that I'm getting. Well, I don't know if I want to do that, and I decided that I'm not going to do that, and there's a reason.
Well, I decided I am going to do that. I was originally going to take the display from the MacBook I bought at the thrift store, put it onto the body of the MacBook I ordered on eBay. That's what I ended up doing. But for a minute there, I didn't want to do that for a few reasons. So I've seen on like YouTube and stuff, because I'm a big nerd and I watch YouTube videos about other people fixing things. I've seen where people get like a water damaged MacBook or a MacBook with corrosion on the board, and they take the display from that MacBook that had water damage, put it onto a working MacBook, and that display fries the backlight or something like that. And since the MacBook I bought at the thrift store had a little bit of corrosion and didn't work whatsoever, I didn't know if I wanted to put that display onto a known working MacBook and potentially kill it. I ended up doing that anyway. And you'll see the reason for that is the display from the working MacBook had a really weird dent in it, and that's why the glass was cracked. So if I put glass onto it, it wouldn't sit right because of that big dent in the top. So I took a huge risk, and I don't recommend you do this, but I put an unknown condition display onto a working MacBook. There's always a chance something goes wrong, and I'm really glad it didn't. Uh, I got really lucky. I don't recommend you do that. Always use a known working good display, and don't test it on your only working MacBook. We now return to home improvement.
Okay, we're back, and this just showed up. This is not going to fit in frame.
I'd like to take a moment to apologize. What you're hearing in the background is a little desk fan because my room gets stupid hot when I have a bunch of computers and cameras and lights going. And I just had to have it going or I would absolutely be sweating and dying. I apologize. There's nothing I can do about it, I don't think. You're going to be hearing it. Hopefully your brain just tunes it out, and I'm sure it will. I just like to apologize. I'm aware. I'm sorry. Enjoy the rest of the video. We now return to The Office.
I say that and then it doesn't cut the tape. Oh, Lord. I hated that. We got a charger. That's good. We got an extension, which is filthy. I may or may not use that. I'm not sure. It is heavy. Probably because it has all the parts in it, hopefully. And now, we have two of them. Oh, Lord. I did not see that. That corner is very, very dented. Oof. I mean, see how it looks on the inside. Yeah, about like, looks like what I ordered. We have a power LED on the front that's blinking. I don't know what that means. Okay, good start. And it does get pretty bright. So bright it's actually turning down the rest of the area around. Yeah, look at that. Let me go ahead and set this up. And
macOS contains a built-in screen reader called VoiceOver, if you know how to use Voice.
Awesome. So it is working. System clock is incorrect. How do you know, though? How do you know that the system clock is incorrect? Huh? You don't know. You're not on the internet. On the camera, but you can...
I know someone's going to point out the shadow shirt. I know it. I already know.
really see that dent there. Yeah, it is not a subtle dent whatsoever. It is like a very clear dip, and that's why the screen's cracked.
So that dent right there is the main reason why I ended up putting the display glass back on that original screen and just swapping those over. Because putting that display glass onto this lid would be pretty much impossible because of that dent. It would never sit flat in that area, and it just wouldn't work. There's no way I could have made it work unless I tried to undent that, which it would just be horrible. It would look horrible. You would be able to tell. It would just look absolutely terrible. I cannot stress how bad it would look because I'm the one that would have done it, and I would have just screwed this up so bad. So I was just like, yeah, I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to see if that original display works on this working MacBook, and if it fries this working MacBook, I'm going to cry. Thankfully, that didn't happen. I didn't cry. It works. I'm so happy. Spoilers, I'm sorry. I ruined the video. We now return to Alf.
Surprisingly, though, that did not damage the bottom half, which is good. I'd hope so. Phillips head, my favorite. Remember that? And it looks exactly the same as mine, just without the corrosion. First thing I want to try.
And right here is where the audio track just broke and disappeared, and I don't know what happened to it. Even on my camera, it just didn't show up. No audio whatsoever. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what happened. So essentially what I was doing here is trying to think, how can I, without removing the original display from that original frame, connect it to this MacBook that I had just bought. It was the whole thing. You'll see how I ended up doing it, and I'll just have to voice it over. So I just butted them up against each other, and the display worked. I was absolutely losing my mind that this worked. I was so happy, and it was great. I put that display glass back on, cleaned it up, and it looked great. And we ended up just going from there. So I took that original display off of that original frame, and there it is. It's a good display. I then went ahead and removed the good uncracked trackpad from that frame, and well, here in a minute actually. I'm watching this. And there we go. It's out. Yay, we have a good trackpad now. Not cracked. Let's go. And then I just unscrewed that display from the working MacBook, and that was it. It was there it goes. It's out. I'm just watching this on my editing computer and voicing this over at the same time. I have no clue what was happening. I think here I made a joke about, look, it's the Mac iPad hybrid everyone's been not talking about. Whoa, I did not mute that audio clip. So this has just gone completely off the rails. I apologize. So we basically just unscrewed the display from the working MacBook and replaced it with the display from the non-working MacBook, and that's that. It's on. We hooked everything up, and it's just working now. It's great. So I went ahead and plugged it in, tested it out, and everything seems like it's working great. I have no clue what was happening here. I'm very sorry. The audio being missing is incredibly annoying, and I really don't know what caused that, but yeah, that's, man, it really ruined this whole thing, and this video just went off the rails because of it. I'm sorry. I'll do better next time. Sorry, everyone. So I shut down the machine, unscrewed the 4 screws holding in the trackpad, and dropped the new one in. That was pretty simple. 4 screws, that's it. I tried putting in this battery, and as I said earlier, it does not work, which sucks because batteries for this thing are like $60, and I'm not paying that much, so I guess I'm not going to have a battery for this machine. It's still in there. I'm not going to take it out because there's no weight in the front of the thing if the battery's not there, so I just left it in.
It's been about a week. So yeah, I've been living out of this for a few days, almost a week tomorrow. And this thing's, well, it's not really good. First thing, I actually did upgrade this a little bit. I swapped out this crappy, terrible hard drive, which is a 240 gig, for a 128 gig SSD. And some of you are probably yelling at me, well, that's too small, you need a bigger SSD. Well, to be completely honest, most of the work that this thing's going to be doing is like in Google Docs, in Google Classroom, and crap like that. It's not on device, so I don't really care about storage. I just need it to be, really fast and snappy. And it is. It's pretty responsive, like when I open OBS. See how long that takes. It's almost as old as I am, but I mean, it works. It's gonna work for, frickin' Google Chrome and a frickin', like, it's great. I mean, it's got iMessage, so I can, definitely not text during class. I mean, obviously it's not the fastest thing, but like it'll work good enough. So yeah, it's a MacBook. I don't really have a lot to say about it. We'll go to our system preferences, or I mean, I guess about this Mac. Man, it's too early in the morning to be filming. And there's the specs for anyone that's wondering. It is running Monterey. I tried to get Sequoia to run. What do you mean? I closed it. I tried to get Sequoia to run on here, but it was just running like absolute ass. And I had to use like an external keyboard and a mouse. And apparently you can get it to work without that, doing post-root patches. And I did that and it still didn't work. So, I mean, Monterey is what I ran for months on the Mac Mini down there, and it runs Sequoia now. So yeah, it's this is gonna be my school laptop, hopefully. But there are some issues with it. As you may have seen, that's not necessarily a lot of RAM. Yeah, not exactly happy about how much RAM there is. I mean, that's a really cheap upgrade that I'll probably do sometime soon. But, yeah, not right now, not right this minute, and it's not that difficult anyway, so it wouldn't be interesting to have in the video. The real problem, some of you might have spotted, is that little icon there. Or the lack thereof, because my camera won't focus. So, yeah, some of you might have noticed that little icon there, and that means my battery does not work. Oh, no. Yeah, that is the issue of if my charger gets unplugged, this thing is just gone, man. We'll demonstrate. Allow me to demonstrate. I'm going to move my camera. Since it's being powered by the MacBook, it's probably not going to be very happy. So yeah, watch. If I unplug this, oh yeah, the camera went real dim there. It's at 4%. Oof. Fine, I'll plug it back in. But this will allow you guys to see what it looks like just booting up from a cold boot. So. Also, I love this little tiny indicator, because like you can't see it when it's turned off. It's just like oh, it's so good. I don't know if you can hear that, but the fan is absolutely screaming for some reason. I don't know why. That is one thing I don't like about this display, is look at how reflective it is. You can see my TF2 shirt. I timed this last night, and it takes only about 1 minute and 35 seconds to be up and booted and completely ready to use. Like everything's loaded up, and it's good to go. Because there's a difference between it's on and it's on and ready to use. So it's not currently on and ready to use because we don't have a menu bar yet. Menu bar has somewhat loaded in. Recording, thank you very much. And now it's completely ready to use. Our menu bar is loaded in. Everything's loaded in. I can open up Google Chrome. Why is Messages opening? I can open up Google Chrome and, well, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe it needs a few more seconds. But yeah, the SSD really helped, and this is the only SSD machine I have, because really it's the only one that needs it. I don't really need any of my other machines to boot extremely quickly, like you know, the iMac or the Mac Mini, or you know, anything else. But like this, I do need an SSD in. It's gonna be picked up and walked around, and you know, you couldn't do that with a hard drive. It'd be freaking out. I mean, it's thick as hell. Like, you know, just look at it. It's not a thin laptop by any means. Here, AirPods Pro versus, yeah, it's not a very thin laptop. It's about as thick as my AirPods. But like, for that you get all the damn ports in the world. So, I mean, that's a trade I'm willing to have it. Give me ports and a thick laptop instead of a thin laptop with no ports. I need ports. So yeah, everyone, thanks for watching. If you liked videos like this, go check out the Xbox series. That was pretty cool. It's the only actual series I've done. If you're more into just like, hey, look at this cool thing I found. $6 Mac Mini. He's still here. He is still my main computer. It still kicks ass. It's such a good machine.
And look at that, the audio broke again. Anyway, it's the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it to the end of this, comment the word giggity so I know you watched all the way to the end. If you like more like this, go ahead and subscribe. I'd appreciate it, and I love your guys' comments. I love you guys. Thank you. And I want to say thanks for 3 years on YouTube. It's been great, and we're still going. We're not stopping anytime soon. Anyways, this video is way too long. Probably the longest video I've done. Anyway, thank you guys. Goodbye. See you next time.